Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Minor Vincent, who is president of Families Helping Families in the town of Clinton.
Peter.
Mr. Vincent.
Good to see you again.
Hey, buddy. How are you? Good to see you.
Great. Well, we're just finishing up a very, very busy summer.
Okay.
We had a partnership with Kids Connection.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's right.
So we did put on three outside concerts.
All right.
And we sponsored the musical Footloose. We also, our scholarship program was in full gear this summer. We had scholarships to Clinton Sailing Club, Cindy Stevens Art Camp, and Kids Connection Musical Theater Camp. So it was a busy summer. It was a good summer. We had a lot of people out. When Footloose was performed, there were hundreds of people that showed up.
Right.
So it was a good summer. We're looking forward to the fall.
Absolutely. Speaking of fall, what do we got going on?
Well, it's our traditional fall food drive, end of September.
Okay.
Saturday, September 24th.
Okay.
From 10 to 2 at Big Y.
There you go.
They were very, very open to us doing one there in the spring.
Yeah.
As you well know.
Yes.
And we asked if we could come back in September. They were very welcoming. So we'll be there September 21st from 10 to 2.
Nice.
Yep.
And as far as, let's do a little bit of background information on the organization and how you guys got started.
Well, we started 16 years ago, if you can believe that.
Wow.
Yeah, time's gone by fast. We've grown into 4 community outreach programs. Okay. We have energy assistance, which we're a little bit concerned about because right now the price of home heating oil is very, very high. Mm-hmm. We do the Clinton Kids Initiative. Sure. We did all the things this summer. We just recently gave Cheryl Church at Clinton Social Services a whole bunch of backpacks.
That's right. And
gift cards for kids going back to school. We will be doing our Christmas time event for tweens. So those are the kids 11 to 16 that don't necessarily have a lot of things under the Christmas tree. So we make sure they get plenty of gift cards, especially to Clinton Crossings, so they can go in any one of a number of stores and pick out gifts that they might like.
Nice.
We also do families to families, and basically that's we intervene when there's a crisis situation. Somebody can't meet rent payment or mortgage payment, or somebody was in an accident, and we try and help them out as best we can with food cards, gas cards, things like that. And our biggest program is Food for Clinton.
Yes.
Since April of 2020, when the pandemic really started, we've donated pretty close to 200,000 pounds of fresh produce, non-perishable food items, and personal care items to the Clinton Food Pantry.
Oh, wow.
So we have 2 deliveries a week that go to the pantry.
Yeah.
They both happen on the same day, which is Wednesday, when the pantry also gives out the food. Correct. So we have a wholesale partnership with a wholesale produce company. So we're buying the freshest produce at the best prices. Then we have developed 3 or 4 buying sources that we buy non-perishable food items and personal care items. Just to give you an idea, if you go to the supermarket and you buy a can of vegetables, it's probably $1.09 or $1.19, and we're buying that same can of vegetables for 57 cents.
Wow.
You buy pasta in the store is $1.19, $1.29, and we're buying that same box for 95 cents.
Holy cow.
So, we try and stretch the dollars as best we can, and people ask, what can we do to help? And not to sound cold, but for somebody that donates $1, we can almost buy 2 cans of food for that $1. So we try and make sure that the dollars go a long way. But it's the supply chain. I know people have heard it in the news and on TV that the supply chain is broken, And that's true.
Yeah.
I used to be able to buy a couple of hundred cans of pasta at one time.
Yeah.
Now I can only buy 10. And the price has gone up by 30%.
Wow.
So it's challenging, but between Amazon, Target, and Walmart, we're able to make sure that we do a weekly delivery of non-perishables and personal care items on a weekly basis. And with Amazon, we belong to a subscribe and save list.
Okay.
So if you have a certain amount of items on your list, you get an extra 15% off.
Oh, cool.
So what we've done is we've developed a list of maybe 20 items, and we rotate those items we get a delivery every 2 weeks. So we rotate those items and get the ones that the food pantry might have an immediate need for. So it works out well. It gets delivered to my house, and we deliver it to the food pantry. But people in town have been very, very generous, and we, like I said, since the pandemic, almost 200,000 pounds of food.
Oh, wow. Your UPS man must love you.
Yeah. UPS, FedEx, Amazon.
Yeah.
I think there's little ruts now in my driveway coming up and down all the time. But they're very nice. My garage door is always open. They put them in the garage, and on a regular basis, somebody that you know very well comes over, and we have packing days, and that's the bike guy, Paul Egan.
How is he?
He's very good. So what we do is when we get a shipment of cans of vegetables or fruits, we put all the boxes on the driveway, open them up, and then we put them in banana boxes into different categories. So when we take them to the food pantry, they're all set. They just put them right on the shelf, and they don't have to sort them. And believe me, Paul has been a real big help. So there's another whole side to the bike guy that people don't know about. And just for your audience, he is doing exceptionally well.
Yeah.
He still goes to and gets checked every week or every 2 weeks, but he's doing very well, and he's preparing to ride in the Closer to Free.
That's right.
With his team.
Weeks.
Yep, a couple of weeks, September 10th, I believe.
That's right, I believe so.
So it's he just tells you how community oriented he is.
Absolutely.
In addition to doing all the stuff with the bikes, and so we just recently tallied all the bikes that have been given away since we started. 7 years ago, I met him at an event, and we got talking, and I was asking him, and he told me his love of repairing bikes.
Right.
And I said, well, how do you get all your parts? And he said, well, I dumpster dive for a lot of them.
There you go.
And I said, well, I'm not sure that's the most healthiest thing to do.
Exactly.
So we formed a partnership, and Families Helping Families provides the financing for all his parts, and he provides the labor. And so in those 7 years, we've given out over 1,525 bikes.
Wow.
And and probably 2,000 helmets.
Yeah, right.
And never charged a single cent for them.
I was going to say, we did an event at the police department
That's right.
back in the spring.
Yeah, the Bike Safety Day.
Yeah,
at that particular event, we gave away between 35 and 40 bikes. So it's been, it's been quite a good relationship with the quote-unquote the bike guy.
Right. And for those of you that have never met Paul, he's one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to sit down and
He's been great. It's been a good partnership. And it's basic to what our mission is. Like no kid should not have a bike, just like there should be no cold homes in Clinton in the wintertime, and there should be no family that that doesn't have enough food. It's
absolutely
basically that simple.
Now, as far as the organization goes, and I'm sure you guys are experiencing this as well, with the rising price of fuel and the rising price of food.
Yep, it's we're worried about it. It's curtailed some of our buying, but like I said, we almost every week, I think between fresh produce and non-perishables and personal care items, we're somewhere, I would say our average is about 1,500 pounds a week.
Oh, wow.
Where the problem comes is, number one, the rising prices, and number two, the ability to get things on a timely basis.
Right.
I used to be able to get some things, and still do, 1 day or 2 day delivery, and now, you find out it's a week or 10 days. So
Yeah, right.
it's hard to gauge what you want to buy and what's available to be able to send to the food pantry. And we're about to restart our backpack program. So what we
Really?
do is I worked with Lisa Carone, who's a special education
Yeah,
teacher
she is.
at Joel,
Yep.
and John Feliciano, who's director of food services
High
for
school.
the Clinton Public Schools.
Right.
And we developed a list of 13 or 14 items. So what happens is during the week, we put them in plastic bags. We deliver them to Joel School on a Thursday, and on Friday, Lisa and some of her students put those bags in backpacks for kids and families that are having problems having enough food on the weekends.
Oh, cool.
So it's a variety. There's cereal, there's milk, there's juice boxes, there's mac and cheese, there's a couple of snacks. So there's milk, and so it's a good cross section of food. There's pouches of tuna fish, crackers, cookies. So it's a good cross section of things that a family can eat on the weekends.
Absolutely.
But we started that last year, and now that school is back, we will pick that program up again.
Would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Love to.
All right, we'll be right back.
Inflation isn't just hitting your pocketbook. Businesses are tacking on new fees to survive. Be wary of low advertised prices. More businesses are implementing drip pricing, where additional fees are added as you move through the buying process. Don't be afraid to take your business elsewhere. If you think the fees are too high, keep shopping around. Comparison shop with fees in mind and make a complaint. Consumer Reports found that 64% of consumers who complained about a hidden or unexpected fee successfully had it taken off their bill. Budget for fees. In most cases, hidden costs are not illegal, which means there are some hidden fees you might be obligated to pay. But watch out for cramming, the illegal act of adding unauthorized service charges without your knowledge or approval. Take a few minutes to review your statements each month and check for new or unexpected fees. If you find a hidden fee, take it up with the company. They may be willing to reduce or remove the fee in some cases. And even if they don't, you still want to know what you're paying for and how much you can expect to pay monthly. For more tips, visit bbb.org.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Minor Vincent, who's the president of Families Helping Families in Clinton. Sir,
Pete,
welcome back, I think.
So I think we should tell people something about you that they might not know.
Oh boy, what?
Well, they don't know that you are a vital member of the every time we do a food drive.
Yes.
And have been for probably 10 or more years.
That's right.
Spring and fall.
And I guess I just can't say no to you.
And you survived rain, snow, hail, wind,
freezing cold.
Yeah. Hopefully, when we do our fall food drive on September 24th, there'll be just a very gentle, calm wind, and that's it.
No wind.
No wind.
No wind.
Well, we lucked out in March.
That's right.
Turned out to be a nice day in the 50s.
It was
sunny.
warm.
Yeah.
It was nice.
One of the few we've had that way.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it was the new location that brought the...
Yes, we should tell people that.
Yeah, that's right.
We have moved the food drive to Big Y.
Right.
They have been very accommodating with us and for us, and we were appreciative of all their efforts that they did back in March. So we're going back there in September from 10 to 2 on Saturday, September 24th.
There you go. There you go. Now, more importantly, if people want to donate, where should we go?
So people can donate on the website, fhfclinton.org.
Okay.
And you can donate through the website. You can also send a check to Families Helping Families, P.O. Box 166 in Clinton, Connecticut.
Okay. And if people, what types of information can people find on the website?
It tells you the whole story about Families Helping Families. We, hopefully in the next month or two, we're going to refresh the website.
Okay.
But it's going to tell you everything you need to know. Like I said, you can donate on the website.
Right.
It tells you who is involved. It tells you past events that have taken place in the town of Clinton.
I'm sure there's pictures.
There's pictures. There's also, if you need help, there's a way to register online if you need help. If you also need help, you can feel free to call me at my house, 860-669-5592. And every phone call is answered, and we make every effort to, if we can't help somebody,
right.
Hopefully we have enough contacts in the community that we can direct them where to go for help.
Absolutely.
I have a number of people that call that I'm surprisingly don't know about not only the food pantry, but I don't think enough people are aware that on Wednesday nights during the food pantry, you can also, there's a meal site.
Yes.
At United Methodist Church.
Yes.
Every Wednesday from
Right.
5 to 6. You can get a hot meal, drink, dessert, and more oftentimes than not, you can also get a little bit to go too.
Right.
So we want to make sure people take advantage of that particular program. United Methodist has opened their kitchen and their community room to us, and the church, it's not just us.
Right.
The churches, in fact, we don't have much to do with it. I help with my particular church, but
Right.
every church in Clinton is on a rotating. I know your mom was there a couple of weeks
Yes,
ago
she
with St.
was.
Mary's.
Right.
I was there with First Church last Wednesday night.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's a good opportunity to get a good home-cooked meal.
Right.
So we hope people will take advantage of that.
Speaking of First Church and our mutual friend at First Church, we also have to mention that they are the site for the food pantry, I believe, Wednesday?
Wednesday, yep. I think it's from 4 till, right now, there's so many people
Yeah.
that are using it. Let's put it this way. If you're in line,
Yeah.
you're not going to be turned away. They will do everything they can to make sure every single person is taken care of.
And if you're not in line,
And if you happen to be in line and they run low, they will give somebody a food card so they can go to a local supermarket and get food.
Really?
They won't turn anybody away. It's
that's cool.
amazing because now, because of the pandemic, they're still in a grab and go mode.
right.
So what happens is during the day, they load 3 different types of bags. There's a bag of non-perishables, there's a bag of meats, and there's a bag of produce.
Okay.
So people get a good cross-section of food, and they just do a marvelous job. The pantry has grown to well over 300 families a week. So we use a multiplier of 4 per family unit, so that's 1,200 people a week.
Wow.
So the volunteers at the food pantry do just an absolutely marvelous job. They're very patient. They understand that, people aren't there because they want to be there. People are there because they have a need, and so they do an excellent job.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about the involvement with Families Helping Families, the food pantry, and the community garden.
So I don't really remember how many years ago it was.
Okay.
Margaret and Peter Laram started our community cares, the Food for All Garden.
Right.
And that is behind Holy Advent Church.
Yes, it is.
Right next to Pearson School. And the Holy Advent Church had a parcel of land that was all basically woodland. And they decided that they wanted to do something for the community. So Food for All Garden was born. We were one of the Families Helping Families was one of the original supporters of that, and we have remained that until this day. We still support them.
Right.
We give them a stipend every single year. And people that haven't been to the garden, I would recommend highly that if you're driving down Main Street, drive into the parking lot at Pearson School
And go
just-
all the way back.
And go all the way back and just take a look at the garden. It's absolutely amazing. And in fact, it's I work there every Wednesday, but I'm not a gardener. I'm a packer.
Okay.
So the gardeners bring produce up to where we are, and we put things, we pack things in banana boxes, tomatoes and things we put in plastic containers, and it all gets shipped to the food pantry. So they're picking Wednesday morning, and it gets shipped there late Wednesday around 12 o'clock. And so that's fresh produce that's given out also that day.
Wednesday night at the food pantry.
But they probably generate between 7,000 and 8,000 pounds of produce in the course of the year.
Oh, wow.
So it's they do a great job. But I really would encourage anybody that hasn't been to the garden to look at it. It's absolutely incredible.
It is. It is.
They do a lot of work each and every. They were there Wednesdays and Saturdays. If anybody wants to volunteer, you don't have to be a gardener. There's plenty of things to do.
Absolutely. Now, one question I had about the soup kitchen, the soup kitchen site in Clinton
It's at United Methodist Church on Commerce Street. If you're at the side of the post office, it's the church that's on the diagonal right across the street.
With the orange doors.
And it's every Wednesday from 5 to 6.
Yep.
And it's a hot meal. And there's always, I shouldn't say always, but seems like every time I'm there, there's extras for people to take home with them.
Absolutely.
So people should, they can go go to the food pantry, get their food, and then go to the Methodist Church and get a hot meal.
Absolutely.
So it works out well.
Now, as far as the food pantry at the Methodist Church goes, is that year-round, or?
It was suspended due to COVID, but I think it's been about a month and a half or 2 months. They've been back online, so people can go there. Everybody, the servers and the cookers, we all wear masks, so it's a safe environment.
Okay.
But it's an opportunity that people should take advantage of.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now let's maybe talk about the astronomical pricing of food and fuel and how it maybe affects families' health and families and the donations that you guys give out.
Well, it's gonna, the donations aren't gonna go as far as they used to. It's that really basically that simple.
Right.
We just paid a bill for somebody that got some oil, and it was $4.79 a gallon. So 50 gallons was pretty close to $370.
Holy cow.
Yeah. So we're hoping that the prices will lessen during the coming winter months, but and the same holds true with food. Prices have just gone up 20 to 30% on a lot of things, and some things you can't get. I used to get 20 cases of juice boxes. Yeah. And now I can't get any. Right now, you can't get cases of juice boxes. Or if you can get them, a case of juice boxes I used to be able to get for like $10.50. Those same juice boxes now, if you can get them, are anywhere from $18 to $25.
Holy cow.
Yeah. It's been difficult. I spent a lot of time shopping.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so some of the things, and the what they've done is they've also placed limits on what you can buy.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Walmart and Target, you can only buy 10 of things. So you have to, you gotta get 10 cans of this and 10 cans of that. I used to be able to get 100 cans. Right. But not anymore. Like I said, the prices have gone up at least 20 to 30%. It's staggering. And so what happens is you might go online on a Monday and look at the price on something, and when you go back on Friday, the price is already going up.
Exactly.
So, the dollars don't buy as much as they used to. But we're still fortunate that we have some sources that allow us to buy. And the same holds true with produce. You go to the store and you look at produce, and it's very, very expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
As far as our produce purchases, we're very lucky because we're purchasing from we're purchasing on a wholesale basis. So
Right.
the prices are a lot better than what you see in a store.
Oh, absolutely.
But they're still expensive. you know.
Absolutely.
But we probably will spend this year, I'd say at least $60,000 on food for the food pantry.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pre-pandemic, there were probably on an average of 135 to 140 families a week, and now it's over 300. So they've more than doubled, and they require a lot more food. We never spent that much money on food before, but the past couple of years we have, because you have to.
Yeah.
You know, we want to make, like I said, we want to make sure that people have food. We want to make sure that people have a warm home. We want to make sure that kids have bikes, have Christmas presents. That's our goal, is to make sure that families that might be going through a crisis and some difficult times still have some of those niceties that they should have. It's that simple.
Right.
And the generosity of the people in the town allow us to do that.
Absolutely. Minor Vincent from Families Helping Families. We're out of time, so thanks a lot for
Pete,
coming down.
thanks for having me.
We'll see you soon.
See you at the food drive.
Absolutely. On behalf of Minor Vincent, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next week.